Welcome into Devon's table, and the table is outside today. I'm Devon O'Day.
And I'm Sylvia Gagner.
And I love your joke. Wouldn't you know?
It's time to talk about wood.
Fireplaces, it's fire gazing season, isn't it?
It is, and you know, there's nothing more wonderful than sitting by a cozy fire, but there's nothing more terrible than sitting by a fire that is smoking up the whole room.
I know, and stuff that, and in some places, all that resin will end up on all the walls. It'll end up on all the trinkets and stuff around the house.
And in your chimney, which can cause a house fire.
Chimney fires are a big deal this time of year. So let's break it down and look at some of the wood to burn in your fireplace and not to burn in your fireplace.
So when you're talking about wood, you want to know that there is hardwood and softwood. Hardwood, softwood. Okay, that's the way we're going to think about that.
You're calling me a meathead?
No, I'm calling you sweet, gentle, and I'm the stubborn one is what I'm saying. So
it's no worries.
When it's time to be thinking about wood for fireplaces, you want to burn hardwood. And hardwood also has to be dry. So most firewood is actually cut in the spring, late spring, and then stacked and stored for that 6 months minimum of aging to get the water out of it. Wood, a regular log, when it first comes off a tree, is heavy because it has 45% moisture. So this is 45% water.
Wow.
And you can tell it's not a very big stick, but feel how heavy that is. Exactly.
And it really is heavy.
Yeah, and so that's a freshly cut log. It is not going to be what I'm going to burn in the fireplace.
It needs
tonight.
to sit out a while.
Because otherwise, all I'm going to do is be evaporating that moisture. It's going to turn it into smoke. So I happen to like a fire that has a little bit of spark and crackle to it. There's just something inviting about that. So we typically put just a little bit of cedar into what we burn. Now cedar, like pine, can be resinous. It can have some creosote in there that can attach. So you don't want to burn all cedar all the time. But if you want to use a little cedar kindling or just a little bit of cedar, like something like this is a good piece of cedar. Feel how light that is.
Oh, it is? Oh,
Yeah,
my
so
gosh.
It weighs nothing compared to, you know, how heavy that one log was there for a moment ago. This will also catch fire pretty quickly. It is very dry, and it will give me a nice little crackle and pop. No snap, but just crackle and pop into the fireplace. So if I was going to do cedar kindling, I'm going to break it down even further into something that is, you know, like this. And I'm going to stack this. Are you a good Girl Scout? You know how to stack that to build a fire?
Well, I always do it in the
teepee?
teepee. Yeah, that's what I've always done.
Yes, you can do teepee, or you can also do tic-tac-toe.
Okay.
And lay them out, spaced out, like this, and then come across like this, and just keep going up, and maybe even put one across like that. And then put either newspaper or something else in there to help it catch as well if you have that. Also, if you have trouble with a lot of downdraft in your chimney, you can use a newspaper to warm up your chimney. Literally put a little piece of newspaper, warm it up with a little bit of fire, put it up in the chimney, and that will help you make the smoke go up instead of out, which is what you want. A lot of people don't know that there are dampers on fireplaces. If you do not know what the damper is on your fireplace, please make sure you get someone to show you that, because if the damper is closed, all you're going to have is smoke in your house.
Either a little lever, there's usually a lever or a chain that opens up that damper so that it's not closed.
We don't want that.
No.
That is never fun. So the other thing that I wanted to show you was, you remember how heavy this was? I had to struggle to pick it up. This is almost twice as wide as that is, and I could all but toss this in the air. This is a nice dried piece of firewood.
Okay. It's a hardwood.
It's a hardwood. And one thing that is good to think about when you're looking to buy wood, say you see a truck on the side of the road, or you're going somewhere to buy some wood, and you want to see if it is really cured, pick it up. If it is light, it is going to be ready to go. Also, look at the ends. You see how dark the ends are here on this piece of wood? That says it's been sitting out for a while.
Seasoning
In the sun. So that's what you're looking for when it comes down to that. The other reason you want to make sure you're buying local is a lot of pests can live inside of firewood.
Yeah.
The emerald ash borer, that's been a big one that has come across the state, and a lot of it coming in from firewood from other states and other counties, and it can be really devastating. So if you're buying local, you're going to have less chance of spreading insect disease across county lines, and we really want to try to be good stewards of the land. So local is good for the wood.
I always say, and also look at the mold count on the outside. If you see a lot of moldy areas on your wood, if you have a lot of bronchial issues, don't burn the moldy wood. I would say dead wood, the stuff that has like a moldy side to it. Don't go stick that in your fire. Now you can burn it outside.
Right.
If you want a bonfire, perfect for that.
And then know that lichen is different than mold.
Yes, that's different.
So this is not mold. This is lichen. And lichen likes to grow on oak and hardwood, so it's not a bad thing to look for.
Not at all. Not at all. Well, if you are, make sure that you keep your chimneys clean on a regular basis. Every year, make sure at the beginning of the season, before you start a fire, you take care of getting your place all nice and clean, or your wood stove, make sure it's nice and clean. Be safe when you're doing it. Hey, stick around. We've got a lot more tips to have a nice, warm, comfortable, cozy fire going in your house.
My very first step in the chimney business was when I was in college, and I happened to come across a magazine that said, make $55 an hour sweeping chimneys. What I didn't realize at that time was that ad was actually going across the whole U.S., and it was starting a chimney industry. I went ahead and bought the equipment, and it came with a top hat. So I was fitted with a top hat. I started going door to door. Say, can I give you a free chimney sweep, a free chimney inspection? And it's been a fantastic ride. So Ashbusters has serviced over 80,000 chimneys. If a customer calls me to do anything with a fireplace, we can do it. We can do it from building it, to tearing it out, to servicing it, to repairing it. The whole thing we can take care of, and I think people really appreciate that. A lot of chimney fires that we've gone on are due to poor installation of the fireplace or the gas logs, or they did some maintenance on a fireplace that's wrong, or somebody doesn't maintain the chimney, keep it clean, keep it checked. Those are the things that catch houses on fire. Our first core value is honor others with excellence, and I think that shows in our reviews. It shows in the growth of our company that we are really different than most other chimney companies. When we say we're going to do something, we do it. We say you're going to get a report, you get it. When we say we're going to show up on time and do this work, we do everything we can to do it. We are a guest in their home. They need to be met with a smiling person. But for me, it's really personal. I mean, I want to make sure that they like us. They don't forget who we are. They know we care, and ideally they tell other people, and they have us back every year. We're there to be their counselor and to help them. Have us come out, have us run our cameras, have us use our knowledge, get on the roof, check the chimney out, and make sure you know as much as we possibly can know before you put a fire in that fireplace.
Nestled in Nashville along the Cumberland River, Green Door Gourmet is a 350-acre organic farm, agritourism operation, and on-farm store. Green Door Gourmet grows a wide variety of fruits, flowers, vegetables, and herbs using holistic organic methods, providing our customers, including local restaurants and florists, with the absolute best direct from the field produce. Enjoy seasonal cut farm flower bouquets all summer long with our Green Door Gourmet Flower CSA. Farm field trips are offered March through October, as well as seasonal cooking classes and on-farm events such as our annual Fall Fest. Our on-farm store features Green Door Gourmet produce as well as products from our farm partners, the area's best local producers, including grass-fed meats, honey, jam, dairy, baked goods, and much more. Our local farm box program allows customers to take home a box with a variety of produce options based on what is growing at Green Door Gourmet. Join us in the spring for the You Pick Strawberry season. Our Countrypolitan White Oak Community Center is the perfect setting for weddings, meetings, farm-to-table and corporate events, and social occasions. Come visit Green Door Gourmet, just minutes from downtown Nashville.
Happy New Year! Get ready for a brand new year with Jennifer Decorates. Let me share with you a few of the plans for this upcoming year. In 2023, we are planning to do a lot of behind-the-scene vlogs. We're also going to showcase some of my own home renovations that we're going to be starting this year, a little bit of my professional life, and a little bit of insight into my own personal life. I am so excited to share a little bit more of my life with you. You guys have given me such warm friendships, and I would really like to explore that even more. Another thing we're going to do more of in 2023 is home tours. You guys have given such great feedback and great comments, which has let me know you like to see home tours, so we're going to be giving you more. And of course, I will never stop doing DIY projects and decorating on a budget. I truly love to teach, and I love to find creative things that I can share with you. It really brings me a lot of joy. It even brings me more joy when you guys comment that, hey, I did that and it worked, I made that. It just makes me so happy. So from holiday to everyday decor, I'm going to be sharing a lot of new ideas with you. All right, here's to a new year with me and you. Have a great day.
I'm a farmer and I vote because every vote counts.
I'm a farmer and I vote because it's my privilege and right as an American, and I use my vote to support agriculture.
I'm a farmer and I vote because I like to voice my opinion.
I farm, I vote because I want agriculture's voice to be heard.
I'm a farmer and I vote to exert influence beyond my own farm.
This morning we're visiting with Dr. Tony Pescatores with the University of Kentucky, Extension Poultry Scientist there. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning.
Now, Tony, we've talked a little bit about raising poultry for meat, and today we're going to focus on eggs.
Yes, eggs are very popular as an item that people can produce and sell at farmers markets or at local stores and things of that nature.
And you know, a lot of people, they have these chickens and they get maybe too many eggs that they can eat for their family, and so they look to sell those at some of those outlets that you talked about. But there are some things that we need to consider when we're selling eggs.
Well, the first one that's probably one of the misconceptions is the egg marketing law in the state. There is an exemption for small producers from having an egg license. That means anyone that produces less than 60 dozen eggs a week do not need to buy an egg license. However, that does not exempt them from following the law. So they have to follow the egg marketing law just like anyone with a license. They have to meet the standards. They have to be able to sell edible eggs. They have to follow the labeling requirements. They have to follow have an emergency recall plan. They have to do all those things. They have to have safe handling on the cartons. All those things still have to be followed even if they don't have an egg license.
Absolutely. And you mentioned a lot of those, like the labeling. People might not think about it. They might try to use old egg cartons, and that's not what we're supposed to do.
Right. We do not allow the use of old egg cartons in the purchase of eggs. And you would think about that is if someone's selling eggs and they're using your carton, you wouldn't want them. So if something bad happens, they don't want to come back on Joanna to come to because they were in your carton. So we asked for a clean egg carton, a new clean egg carton. We need to have the producer's information on that carton, and then we have to have information about either the best buy date or the expiration date on the carton. An expiration date is 30 days after the egg goes into the carton. It's 45 days for the best buy date. So that has to be clearly labeled on the carton. The other thing that needs to be on there is the safe food handling requirements. Mm-hmm. So the safe food handling label has to be there. And the nutrition label can be there. But that nutrition label has to be the one that the USDA set up. You can't just change that label. Mm-hmm. And then any of the other things that have to be on there is the fact that it has to be kept refrigerated, that type of information. Because when we're dealing with eggs, you have to remember it's a perishable food. And eggs, when they're presented for sale, have to be at an ambient temperature of 45 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's basically your refrigerator temperature. And we do have publications on our website that'll show you how to make a cooler into a refrigerated or an iced area, and out of an ice cooler, and have it so that the eggs don't come into contact with the ice, but it still keeps that 45-degree temperature. And people, if they are selling eggs, they have to be at that cool temperature, and you also have to have a thermometer. Mm-hmm. The one thing that can have them destroy eggs for you if they're out of temperature.
Absolutely. Now, we'll have people call the office, though, and debate about that, saying, well, my grandmother left them out, and I don't put my eggs in the refrigerator. But for sale in the state of Kentucky, that's still, you need to have
that is a national requirement. But the other thing, too, is when people tell you that, is remember, they've been exposed to the germ biome of that farm over time. If you're a person that's never been exposed to those germs, you may not be as resistant. So what we're trying to do is protect people, because nobody is starting to raise chickens and eggs in order to hurt someone. So we definitely want to make sure that the eggs are safe, the eggs are clean, and the eggs are edible.
All right. Well, certainly appreciate the information. If you have questions, make sure to contact your local extension office, or you can go to smallflocks.net.
If you are looking to black out your bedroom, your media room, or maybe you work at night and you want to rest during the day, that's something better than what you see here where the light comes in. This would be something you may want to consider. In full disclosure, this video is sponsored by Lutron, and I'm sharing my honest review on their automatic Serena shades by Lutron. This is Serena by Lutron website. You have a variety of choices to choose from. You can get smart roller shades, wood blinds, honeycomb shades, and they have 100 plus fabrics to choose from. The steps to walk you through measuring is easy. You have the choice to measure inside or outside mount, and you can choose your power option of battery operated, wired, or manual. Practical colors to match your existing decor, and you can choose how you want to control your shade. Living in Florida, the sun is not only brutal, but it's bright, and I went with honeycomb shades, and I chose the blackout option because it's just that brutal. Read the directions, follow the instructions about measuring. You have the choice to have an inside mount or an outside. On our French doors that lead out to our patio, we mounted them outside above the frame, and on this window we mounted them inside. It was really simple to install the back coverings, although we would have loved for the back bracket to have been pre-drilled because we went through a few drill bits. FYI, other than that, it was really easy to install. This clip design is going to allow you to replace the batteries without actually having to take the shades down. You can control them with a remote, on the app, or with your Alexa or Google Home device. There is such a difference having the blackout architectural honeycomb shades up. This was the time of the day when the sun was just shining bright. Now let's see them up. I fast forward 4 times the speed, and here is the normal speed. Nothing is better after having a hot bath or shower and hopping into your favorite bathrobe after a long, tiring day. This is what I look forward to, lighting a candle and enjoying the rest of my evening, talking to my hubster on our patio oasis. Life is so short, you guys. Get busy living. Live your life.
Hockey in Music City just hits different. It's one big honky-tonk party. It's the sea of gold in the crowd. The goals, the saves, the celebrations. It's an experience like no other. Don't miss a minute of the action this season. Visit NashvillePredators.com/tickets to get your seats today. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets. And we'll see you at Bridgestone Arena.
We brought this great piece of equipment called the Cook-It-All that we're going to use in about as many different ways as we possibly can because it can do a whole lot of different stuff. It can be a Dutch oven, it can be a grill, it can be a griddle, it can be an oven. We're going to start specifically with the wok in the fire. Got a nice little bed of coals going, and we're going to let it sit here and get hot before we get started. The wok piece of it is awesome for cooking a whole variety of things on open fire. So now we get to play with some of the real versatility of this Cook-It-All. I'm going to set it to the side, and then using this piece, 2 sides here. One is a griddle side, and the other is a grill side. What we're going to do is put this thing right on the coals and get the grill side nice and hot and grill some steaks. Another thing that I really like about the Cook-It-All is that it's got a really big surface to cook on. You've got 4 really nice sized Kansas City strip steaks. Just got done cooking some steaks, and now we're gonna flip this guy over and get ready to do some eggs to finish off our hash. I'm just gonna start with breakfast over an open fire. Kind of sets the pace for a really nice day.
Delicious.
I'm very glad. Great on a pizza. So we made some pizza dough before we came out here. Now it's all nice and ready to go. I'm just going to stretch it out so that we can have a little pizza for lunch. You know, what we've done here is put a pizza together on the griddle part of the Cook-It-All. And then we take the wok and invert it and put it on top of the griddle to make a pizza. So this piece is designed to hold coals all around it, on the top and all around this outside ring to keep the oven really nice and hot. And that way we can bake this pizza really fast, get it nice and crispy. Sometimes as a professional chef, cooking and that life gets pretty complicated. And it's nice to be outside and cook because it's hard to overcomplicate dishes and food when you're cooking over an open fire. It's easy to keep it easy, which is really nice. Well, I love how hot this thing gets. Straight to ripping. And that's one of the great benefits of cast iron is it gets hot and holds its heat really well. One of the great things about the Cook-It-All here is, you know, you can feed about 10 or 12 people out of it. And it's big without being so big that it would take you the rest of the afternoon or the rest of the evening to cook it for everybody. So it's kind of the perfect size for working around a campfire, especially if you have things that help make it easy. And this is one of those things that help makes it easy. We're gonna move this over to a little place where it can simmer for a while. I'm using these really cool handles that have these bails on them to keep you from burning yourself, which is awful nice when you're dealing with hot stuff like this. We can use the lid to cook our fish while our jambalaya is still going. Two great fishing buddies behind me. Matt caught the little one, Randy caught the big one. No, I was here cooking while they were out fishing. You know, that's the life of the chef, right?
We absolutely appreciate it.
It's a pretty amazingly versatile product for, you know, a two-piece system that goes onto a campfire.
Thanks, Eric. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you all. But I think that the design and the way that the piece is put together, it gives you a versatility of cooking technique that you can't really find in any other product that I think is out there. So you're out in the woods and the Cook-It-All really is the only piece of equipment that you need to bring.
You two are uncharacteristically quiet back there.
How good is it?
It's fire making time in Tennessee. I've got the kindling.
I got the log.
And we are ready to go make a fire, whether it's outside for a bonfire or inside in a fireplace or even a wood stove.
It is absolutely the season to warm up, cozy up, and cook up things on a good fire.
That's right. Our friends at Lodge have great things to use with an open fire, whether you're out camping or even in your fireplace. If the power goes out and you got a fireplace, you can always cook, right?
Amen.
Well, if you're out there looking for a blessing, remember, like we always say, you got to first be one.